Hello, America, and welcome. Tonight we have a really big shoe. We have a big special. I want you to know Blaze TV exposes how D.C. politicians get filthy rich. This makes me uncomfortable. This is a hostile work environment right now. For me, I'm just saying, for me, wow, that makes me uncomfortable. Look, a lot of people are uncomfortable right now, and not just from that. A lot of people are struggling today more than they have in a very long time. You probably are running up your credit card. You are having trouble at the grocery store. Everybody is like that. Everybody is. Well, not everybody. There are some whose portfolios are not struggling. As I will show you later in the show, members of Congress. You're going to understand why they never retire. This documentary we're going to show you tonight, it's like scales falling off. You're like, oh my gosh, I get it. I understand why they're just, wait, you'll understand it all. And it's something that we have to fix because the soul of our country is being tainted. This is a really important topic that tonight's show will lead directly into the premiere of the new Blaze original documentary, Bought and Paid For, How Politicians Get Filthy Rich. These things cost the Blaze an awful lot of money, and we are having a hard time narrowing down what we are going to do, quite honestly, because I think we're running out of time. Tonight's show, we'll be one of the only people talking about this, and all of the people that have helped us with the facts and figures and everybody that talked to our reporters, they're all hoping that this show tonight will wake enough of you up and you'll go out and wake the rest of the nation up, because you cannot have a country without fixing this. We would like to ask you if you would help us continue to do these things by subscribing to Blaze TV. We are exposing the government rot tonight that you will see as quickly as we can, but we do need your support. You can subscribe tonight at blazeoriginals.com. Use the promo code FILTHYRICH, which none of us are filthy rich. I know you're not filthy rich. They are. Join the fight, get $30 off an annual subscription. Okay, tonight, we're going to talk about the redistribution of wealth, because it's been a rallying cry of radical leftists for over a century. You have Karl Marx. He loved you had the Bolsheviks. They were great. Mao. They all stated in their own ways that they wanted to take money from one group of people and give it to another group of people, right? An economy for everyone. Remember, take it from one group of people to another. Now, they used to say that they would take it from the rich and give it to the poor. But, I was going to say we're too smart for that now, but I don't think we are. It's not an economy for everyone, because where's all the money going? Well, in the Soviet Union. It wasn't the working class that improved their station in life. Their station in life sucked. It was the political class that got rich, had their own lanes on the highways, and reaped all the rewards. Mao? Well, that's Mao in his own indoor swimming pool. Millions of people starving to death. He's got a swimming pool. It's an economy for everyone that the elites bring into their circle. This is the phrase that is being used as a rallying cry now by some of the most powerful political institutions and elected officials in the country right now. We've heard it. Hillary Clinton campaigned on creating an economy that works for everyone. This is a con. The country's largest progressive think tank, American Progress, has a policy plan for building an economy for all. Wow. Nancy Pelosi wants all of us to know that congressional Democrats, they're going to build an economy that works for everyone, not just the elites. Wow. Well, I know this economy is working for me and my family, probably for yours too. I think about how wonderful it works every time I try to buy chicken at the grocery store. Oh, it's working on us. Now, who are the elites they keep talking about? Because every time this rhetoric has been used in the past, whether that be Russia or China, Cuba, Venezuela, the elites end up being the people who write the laws. They're the ones who get rich. You're going to see in the documentary tonight, there's a great line. I don't remember who says it. It might have been James, the narrator on this, that it is, it's always a sign of how corrupt your country is, on how rich your politicians get while they're in office. History has shown us time and time again the redistribution of wealth is a con. Money doesn't flow from the billionaires to the people in the middle and lower classes. It flows to the people writing the laws. Can I ask you, how did you do in the stock market last year? Okay. Well, if you invested S&P 500, it actually did pretty well, closing out the year with a 24% gain. That's huge. Huge. You know how Bernie Madoff? It was so suspicious because every year he could guarantee a 10% return. Every year he could get 10%. Last year, S&P 500, that's fantastic. 1 year. Now, you can't actually invest in the S&P 500 as a whole, but you can invest in an ETF called SPY. Now, SPY tracks the overall performance of the S&P 500. So people like you and me, if you invested, you saw a return of 24% last year. Now, this graph shows the performance of SPY ETF. That's you and me. And other organizations and hedge funds and people who somehow, some way or another, out-experted the experts that track the S&P 500 for a living. Now, who are these financial gurus? I mean, I want to find out their secret. I'm thinking, this one is 238% on their money. 238% return just last year. They beat out the experts at SPY by over 200%. That's got to be AI, right? Gotta be. How's it possible? Look at the top 10. They destroyed SPY 122, 107, 105, 80, 78, 69, 68. That's incredible. This is a collection of financial geniuses doing crazy, nerdy AI kind of calculations at night. It's like if Dustin Hoffman's Rain Man had a hideous-looking baby with Albert Einstein, and they trained him from birth to outwit the S&P 500. That's the person that's got to be doing that, right? No, not so much. Not so much. They're not even geniuses or quite that smart, you know? Wow. Brian Higgins. Nancy Pelosi. Dan Crenshaw. Wait a minute. There are no hedge funds here. There's nobody that does this for a living. Everybody is in Congress. What are the odds? I do know that they hold the power of the purse, but I don't think that's what the framers really had in mind. How the hell is Dan Crenshaw finding a return of 38%, suddenly destroying the SPY? Do they teach advanced stock trading during Hell Week and SEAL training? I don't know. The members of Congress have gotten so good at picking stocks, and none of them have the education for this. None of them do this for a living. But they're so good that now there are people following their moves rather than going to a professional stockbroker. They miss their calling. Can you imagine if they did this full time and didn't have that second job in Congress? They could make so much money if they just left Congress, right? Because they're all so good at it. Okay, you can find websites like this one that monitors Nancy Pelosi's purchases. I mean, who needs a professional anymore? Just copy the financial genius of your local congressman. Now, it's no secret why members of Congress suddenly become financial whiz kids once they get elected. Now, I'm not saying or pointing the finger at anyone saying they did anything illegal, but I'm not saying that either. You know what I'm saying? There are two words that used to be used a lot regarding this, by the mainstream media. They used to call it insider trading. Now, I wouldn't use those words. Those are the words from CBS News. This is an article from 2011 where they exposed insider trading. Visa attempt to bribe Nancy Pelosi as a critical credit card legislation was being debated in Congress back and forth. It noted how Visa offered her an initial public offering, which is an IPO, while the legislation was making its way through Congress. This is horrible. How could they possibly do that? Check this out. Lawmakers, as it stands now, can hold private meetings with corporate representatives while legislation is being debated that could help or hurt them. And then the lawmaker can turn around and make stock moves based on that information. Now, I'm just playing this out in my head. This, of course, never happened. But let's live in the fantasy world where somebody from Google comes into your office and you're like, Mr. Google Pants, I could make your life a living hell. Or I could just go right along with it. I wonder which I'm going to do. Say, do you have any information for me? And then I could go, and again, that never happened. Everybody is just so honest. Listen to this quote. It'll kind of crack you up. Again, their words. This form of insider trading is one of the reasons why there are so many wealthy members of Congress. None of this is a secret, even though they all, both Republican and Democrat, try to downplay that's crazy. There might be a few people, but we have an ethics committee. Wait until you see the documentary when they get to the ethics committee. So what makes this crazier is that if you and I did it, we'd be in stripes in prison. But Congress? No. No, they have a loophole. Listen to this from Loyola University. Are you ready? If you're a member of Congress, there is a loophole. There isn't a limit on lawmakers trading stocks based on classified information, nor is there oversight regarding the trades that lawmakers are allowed to make based on other information they're privy to as part of their job. So now, while people like Nancy Pelosi scream about the top 1%, which she is in, she wasn't when she first entered Congress, in 1826. But now she's there because she hates that top 1%. The rich need to pay their fair share and redistribute all of this to the poor. Yeah, that's not happening. What you're going to see tonight is the system they really care about. This is their economy for everyone. So, is this how Congress is beating the market? They know all the chess moves before anybody else does. They've read the other team's playbook before the game is played. They know when there's a war or a pandemic, which you will see tonight. Think of the millions that died. Think about how much money Fauci and all of his people probably made on COVID. We never even thought about, are members of Congress making money on this? It's going to be up to you to get the word out. Because what the game they're playing, you and I are not allowed to play. And we wonder why people like Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi stay in office for 927 years. Why leave? Why leave? Oh, I have to stay and have somebody tell me how to vote and then wheel me into the other room and I can make 238% gain on my investments? Damn right, I'm staying as long as I can. Of course, you can't do that. No. We wonder why our country is in a constant state of war. Is there any incentive for Congress to stop forever wars when they're allowed to invest in military-industrial complex corporations like Lockheed and Raytheon while they're voting for it? We wonder why the government wants more control of health care, why they're doing such a hasty transition to unreliable energy. Let me ask you this. How many congressmen currently hold medical and green energy stocks? And green energy stocks that are getting millions of dollars from us. Directly following this show tonight is the premiere of the new Blaze Originals documentary on Blaze TV. It is called Bought and Paid For: How Politicians Get Filthy Rich. And it attempts to answer some of the questions, and I don't even think it attempts. It answers the questions I just asked. Who are some of the worst offenders in Congress? What stocks are they buying? What committees do they sit on? What legislative moves do they pursue? It's astonishing. It's astonishing that we don't have any real reporters anymore in the mainstream media. This is sick, and it covers both sides. Both sides. The Blaze Originals team reached out to multiple members of Congress for comment. Everybody. They asked, will you come on? We asked for just this part. Can we get you on to talk about this? Every single person in Congress that we reached out to ghosted us, or they're in the documentary. No one wants to talk about what is going on. But we have got to fix this. We are a banana republic if we don't. America was not designed to be a nation of political elites that profit off their elected position while screwing the people on the ground. That's the Soviet Union. That's China. That's Venezuela. Hell, that's Mexico. But that's the modern way of redistribution of wealth from the lower and middle classes to the political class. When we're talking elites, that's who we mean, political class. An economy for all, or something like that. It's important to know that we are not accusing anyone of insider trading here. But there's a loophole that exists. And the returns on the S&P 500 alone, 238%, are enough to warrant maybe just a little closer look. All the things that we have to solve really sound impossible, and I get it. Most people think that way, but we want to make sure that we are able to expose these kinds of scandals that get buried, and you can change the direction. Your support, your vocal support, your on social media support, what you do in your personal life makes all the difference. You can also help support us to get these stories out. Go to blazeoriginals.com right now. Join us in the fight. Use the promo code FilthyRich to get $30 off the annual subscription. This is the only place that has this story. If this becomes a story around the country, it will be because of you.